small business supporters. I'm Savvy, and today I'm here with an indie book review. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please remember to click the subscribe button. I have new videos coming out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and those videos will be related to books, writing, dogs, toys, art, or business, but mostly books and writing, so you won't want to miss them. Please remember to ring the bell so you'll get notifications whenever I post, which is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today, I am going to be reviewing a book called CHEWIE'S Crusade. This book is written by David H. Rees. I'm not entirely sure how it's pronounced, but it is the first book in a series called The Chronicles of Fid. This is a science fiction book, and I was really happy to read it, and I am excited to give you guys my thoughts on it. Now, before I go into anything about the book, I have a quick disclaimer, which is that I did receive a free arc of this book in exchange for my honest review. This video is part of a blog tour and vlog tour put together by my friend Eric at Breakeven Books. He was organizing a tour for this author to get the book out everywhere, and I was one of the people who received an arc of it, which is why I am reviewing it for you guys today. The book, I believe, is currently available on Amazon, and it's up there on Goodreads, so if you want to check it out, I've linked to the book in the description below. If this sounds like it's something interesting that you'd like to read, go ahead and give it a read. So the premise of this book is that it's a take on the superhero type of story, but told from the supervillain's perspective. I thought that was super interesting because we're seeing so many superhero stories nowadays, especially, with Disney buying out Marvel and putting out a movie every 10 minutes, it seems like there's just superhero stories for days, so it's really nice to see something different. Before we go into my thoughts on the book itself, let's just take a look at the synopsis on what it's about. Rage, grief, and guilt have fueled Dr. Fid's endless quest to punish the unworthy, and he has left a long trail of blood and misery in his wake. For more than 2 decades, the sight of the villain's powered armor has struck fear into the hearts of hero and civilian alike. But when a personal tragedy motivates Dr. Fid to investigate a crime, he uncovers a plot so heinous that even he is taken aback. Haunted by painful memories and profound guilt, the veteran supervillain must race against time if he is to have any hope of confronting the approaching threat. Every battle takes its toll, but the stakes are too high for retreat to be an option. In the end, it may take a villain to save the world from those entrusted with the world's protection. Alright, that synopsis is so fun. I absolutely love it. So first off, great job on writing that synopsis. That is gripping. I love it. So for the book itself, I was torn on whether I wanted to give it 4 stars or 3.5 stars. It was kind of in the middle, 3.75 stars if that's an acceptable thing to give for this book. There were a lot of things I liked about it, and then there were a few things that I didn't. So first, I'll start off with what I really, really liked about this book. First, as I've said, the premise. I think it's really cool that we're getting the villain's perspective on everything. It really feeds into that idea that in the world, nothing is black or white. There aren't true heroes or true villains anywhere. There are just people with varying motivations. And when we look at the stereotypical superhero story, we like to boil it down to these people are good, they're trying to save others. These people are bad, they're trying to hurt others. But we're not always looking at well, the good people that are saving others might cause death to happen of people in the way, or thousands or millions of dollars of destruction to the city in the process of saving someone. So even the good actions have negative consequences. Similar thing with the supervillain. Sometimes a supervillain is attacking people and doing objectively awful things, but then if you look into their vigilante justice side of it, we've got that whole anti-hero thing going on. So sometimes that does create a character that we like to follow and we like to examine. So I thought it was a brilliant idea to tell this story from a supervillain's perspective. I also really liked the writing itself of this. I think that the author has a fantastic grasp on prose. Also, I like that we kind of got early on in the book, you learn what Fid's kind of motivation was for becoming a supervillain, so you get that whole backstory at the beginning. You also learn how he got his name, Dr. Fid, which I think is so cute because it's he has a PhD and he's a professor, so it's PhD, and his little brother is oh, PhD spells Fid, and that's where it comes from. I thought that was so funny and cute. So there's a lot of really cute moments. Another thing I loved, there's this adorable little android girl. Like, there's like this little robot girl that Dr. Fid is a super villain, but he kind of like takes her in and treats her like his daughter, and it's absolutely adorable. Now, on to the reasons that I didn't quite give it 5 stars. Mainly there's just one reason, and that's the pacing. I honestly, without reading the synopsis, I wouldn't have known what the story was about until I got almost like 40% of the way through it on Kindle. And the reason is that I think the beginning is a little too weighted down with action scenes that don't really advance the plot. Now, if you're someone who likes action, that could be a positive for you, because there's action for days. There is so much like high stakes, gripping action going on. But, you know, action scenes aren't really my thing. And they have a place. They have a place in a lot of stories, and I can see how they could escalate the tension, but I don't like too much of it, so to me it just felt like there was like an excess of action that was keeping the story from moving forward. So I feel like the beginning could be greatly trimmed down, and we could get to the big, huge, terrible event that happens in this book, which then causes all the rest of the plot to happen. At the beginning, I was like, I kept having to like look back at the synopsis to be like, wait, did the main thing already happen? Like, what's the main plot of this again? But once I got into the plot, I was like, okay, this is actually fascinating what's going on. So I would say 3.5 to 4 stars for Fid's Crusade. I recommend it if you're someone who likes high sci-fi type of books. I think you would really enjoy this. There's lots of cool new types of technology in this. There's aliens, there's robot people. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of great, really imaginative stuff in here. If you're someone who likes action, I definitely recommend it. There is so much action, and it is super well written, so you will love that as well. If you're someone who prefers, like, you know, in-depth character arcs and lengthy development on people, he does that really well with Fid, with the main character. I think his development is excellent, but none of the other characters really seem to get that level of development. So within, like, if you're someone who prefers a more like low concept type of interpersonal story, you might not get that here. So it really depends kind of what you're looking for, but overall I thought it was a good book, and I'm glad that I got the chance to read it for free. Alright, have any of you guys read this book? Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below. Or if this sounds like a book that you might be interested in reading, let me know what you think of it based on my description in the comments below. If you want to read a novel that's basically the opposite of this, which instead of being high sci-fi focused on action and not focused as much on interpersonal relationships, you could read my novel Sculpt Yourself, which is a low sci-fi novel that has almost no action whatsoever in it and is entirely focused on interpersonal relationships. So, you know, you can flip it around, do something a little different. Please check that novel out, linked in the description below as well. There's also an audiobook available, and I highly recommend the audiobook because it's fun to listen to books, and the narrator of the audiobook is super talented. And no, it's not me. I wouldn't just say that about myself on camera. Would I? I don't know. Maybe I would. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys again soon in the next video, and in the meantime, please don't forget to support small businesses. Happy reading!